everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm basically gonna be showing you how I make my thumbnails and my intro. So this was actually requested by Pearl Diary. So firstly, how I make thumbnails is that I use this website. It's called Canva. I usually use this. I recommend that you use it, but you can use any other website. So I just go to social media and I press the YouTube thumbnail. Like if, for example, let's just use this thumbnail. So the way I made it is that I just skip to a part that I think is good for the thumbnail. Like this part, for example, and I just screenshot it. So then I go to a website called remove.bg. It's just for removing backgrounds and it's free. But if you have Canva Pro, I have it, then you can just use Canva too. So just add your image into there and you can use the background remover, or you can just remove this one. Most of the time I go to the eraser part to remove any like stuff that is supposed to be there. So then to add the outline, I just go to edit and add shadows, change it to outline. I don't usually change the size. Right now the outline isn't showing because the background is really white. So to get the background, most of the time I just search on Google. I already have some uploaded here, some like backgrounds, but you gotta add your own background. So I use this one for an example. So I'm just gonna resize it so it can fit. And then I'll go to edit and I can add filters to make it look better. Then I go to position and just set it to back. Oh yeah, I'm doing this on a PC. If you're not doing it on a PC, well, you can still do it on a phone. Then you can add images of other characters too. But I'm only gonna add this one. Now, I'll go to the image. I only do this sometimes. I just go to the image and I crop it. And then I go to edit to adjust and set vignette to -100. So then there's gonna be like white borders around it. Then I add a heading and a subheading. In the subheading I just write, like since we're copying the one for this video, in the subheading I'm gonna write this, and in the heading I'm gonna write this. So then I have to change the font color of both of them to white. I just press change all to change both of them. Then I go to change the font. Mostly I search for handwriting and choose the Canva student fonts. And I change this one. I just search for calligraphy. But I can show you the ones I usually use. I usually use this one and this one, but this one is premium, so I'm just going to use this one. So then I go to effects, and I add an outline. And mostly I just change it to green. And I do the same for the smaller text. So now, if you want to find a font that's similar to like this one, then you can just search for calligraphy. And then you can just choose anyone. So I'm just going to choose this one, for example. This one is also free. So now after this, it just looks kind of bland. So the next thing I usually add is I go to elements and I go to recently used, and you can use some elements. So for now I'm gonna be using only free ones. So gonna use this one. You can change the color of your elements, just add maybe some spring themed elements and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm done adding all the stuff. So as you can see here, all of these stuff that I added are free, so that it shows that even though you don't have premium, there's still a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, and also you can change this. This one is price, you just change it to free and you'll see only all the free stuff. So that's basically just how I make my thumbnail. This is the final result and I think it's pretty good. So now as for my intros, then I use CapCut. Oh yeah, and also if you want to download it, then you just press share and press download. Then just press download again and wait for this to finish. So as for my intros, I've already told you that I use CapCut and I just set the ratio. I set the ratio to 16:9. That says YouTube ads. Even though we're not creating an ad, it's also for YouTube videos. So to make the intro, I just record a video of everyone in the family. So like for example, I already have this video, so I'm just going to show you an example of it. So like here, this is the one I used for the intro I have now. I added like the dad, he's using his phone, and the mom over here, Layla just waving, and Mila reading a book, and Ryan playing with his toy. So this one is for the family. So then after that, I just start to like crop it. I'm gonna add this one because it's the same one I used. Then I basically just increase the size and I move the character onto the left. Then I go to text and add heading. I just write the name of the character and I change the style. I just change the font to something else. Let's just use this font. And you can also add stroke over here. Then I just move it to wherever I want it to be and I change the size. So then after that, I just crop it at some part. I don't know which part. I just try to make it to be in sync with the music. So I just do the same thing for every family member that's there. So anyway, now I'm done with adding every family member. So it should look like this. So next I go to transitions. So the transition I use is either blur, mix, or one of all of these. So I'm just gonna add this one that says spin clockwise. And I'll go to basic and I'll press apply to all. So next, for the enjoy the video part, it's not really necessary to add, but I'm just gonna show you how I add it. So I'll just search for this to find a good image to use. I'm just gonna use this for example. So I'm just gonna save the image to my device and I'm gonna upload it to CapCut. It doesn't really take long to upload images. So now I've uploaded an image. I ended up changing it to this image instead. So I'm just gonna add the image. But yeah, I'm also going to rotate it. And I'm gonna increase the size. So I'm going to press the transition again. And I'll press apply to all again. So now I'll add some text. I'm just going to zoom in a little. And I'll press add heading. So I'm just going to write like enjoy And I'm gonna change the font to something else. So I just cropped the sound. And I also changed the size of the text. I mean the amount of time it shows for. So now it looks kind of bland. This part is also optional, but you can go to elements and then just write spring or whatever you want. Then I go to stickers and I add whatever themes I like. Most of the stickers here aren't premium, and I actually don't have premium, so that's good. So I'll just add a few of the stickers. So anyways, right now I've added a few stickers, so this is how the video looks now. But now we gotta add the effects. So you have to go to effects and video effects. And then I go to the party section and I use this one that's called blinking. So anyways, I changed the effects to this one that says vibrant glow, and I did change the adjustments, so these are the adjustments. So the only thing that's left to do now is in the sound you have to add fade out. I usually set the fade out duration to like 3 seconds. So then when you play the part at the end, then it should be like fade out. So that's how I make the family intro. But how I make the intro at the beginning is that firstly, I go to Canva to create the slides. I've already downloaded this one, so I can delete everything. So then I go to Pinterest. Then I just search for just whatever you want to search for the background. Then I usually download 3 backgrounds. So I'm gonna download this one, and this one. So then I add the first image I want to use for the first slide. Then I just scale it and rotate it if I need to. Then I just add the heading and I write welcome. And I change the font color to white. And I change the font to this one. I think it says brusher or brushes. Whatever. I don't care what it says. Then I go to effects and add outline, of course. And I change the outline to whatever color I want. Next, I just go to elements again, and I just add the stuff, spring stuff again. So now I've added a few stuff over here. So then I just download it. And after it's actually done downloading, then I actually start making changes again. Then I write my social. And for this part, you just gotta screenshot images of whatever platforms you use. You can skip this one if you only post on YouTube. So I have this image of my Facebook accounts and my Pinterest accounts. So I'm gonna change the corner rounding to 100 for both of them, and I'm going to reduce the size. So then you can either just leave it like this, or you can just move the stuff you added around here, or add text for the socials. You can just do whatever you want. Then I download this one and wait for it to actually finish downloading, and then I just change the text to boy the video. And I delete the images that I added, the ones for the socials. And I increase the size of the text and just move around the stuff that I added. So then I download the last slide and I go to CapCut. Usually I create it in a separate file. A separate project, but I'm just gonna be deleting everything in this project because I don't really want to waste any space. So then I just use whatever sound I want to use. I'm gonna be using this sound, and you can just crop the sound to whatever part you want it to be. So then I just upload the images I want to use, the slides I created. So I'm not really gonna show you how to do the search bar part because this video is already getting way too long. So I'm just gonna add the slides. Oh yeah, and also you can change the image for each of the slides. It's just that I forgot to do that. So like for example, for this slide, you could change the image to like this, or I don't know, whatever image you want. So then I go back to CapCut. And I just crop the sound to the part that I want to crop it to. And I just change the amount of time the image is so that it can match the sound. So after I've added the slides, then I don't know why it's not supposed to be spinning like that. It's just because I deleted everything from the old one and those stuff just stayed for some reason. So then I go to transitions again. And I go to classic, and basically you can use any one you want. So for this intro, I'm gonna be using this one that says star, and I'm gonna apply it to all of them. So now this is how it looks. So then I go to effects again, and I go to RT again. But this time I'll use a different one for the intro. You can use the same one for the intro, but I'm gonna use a different one. So I'm gonna use this one that says beach shots, but for the intro I have right now, I used the same one. But it's better if you use a different one. So anyway, this is how the intro looks right now. So anyways, you can add fade out to it, to the sound. I'm just going to set it to 3 seconds again. So that's basically the end of today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you're having a good day or a good night. So bye. My